Hello everyone. Tonight I'm going to read to you an extract of one of my books, Trevor. Here goes. A man spat on the wet pavement as he pushed past teenage Trevor. The spit dissolved into the puddle in the cracks of the slabs while the rest wobbled upon each tread. They'd been cracking up for years, but the council never bothered to replace them. As Trevor walked on with his hooded head facing down, he kept a brief mental record of the things he saw on his way. Cigarette butts scattered, flattened chewing gum, pieces of an old printer tossed to the side, crushed empty drink cans, and then he spotted the patch of blood that someone forgot to clean off. It was the result of a stabbing the night before. But which one was it? Hard to tell, when these things occur all the time. Trevor tried to recall the victims he heard about recently. Perhaps the victim was the Somali immigrant after he stepped out of the job centre across the road. Or was it the Turkish teenager who refused to give up his phone? Who cares? Nobody knew anyway. Shit happens, he thought. Police sirens echoed from the distance. Night and day, there was no end to them. So far, no sound of a fire engine or an ambulance. Yet. Crime was the norm here. It had been raining all day, and it stopped about an hour ago. Each step he took made his feet wet. There were holes in his trainers. This urban area would have been pitch black if it weren't for the dim amber street lights illuminating it. Every other bulb flickered. As he walked, he heard a group of drunken men standing outside a pub. They sang loud football anthems out of tune, belched in between, and then laughed like wild hyenas. It had already passed closing time. Another person was holding on to a lamppost while vomiting into the gutter of the road. The yellow substance trailed along it as it dissolved into rainwater before going down the sewer. Then he heard a drunk couple fucking in a dark, dirty alleyway. When the world around Trevor got to his attention, he noticed the new graffiti spread on top of the older ones that were fading. At least that looked better. All the buildings were crumbling due to years of little to no maintenance by the government. They have been darkened by pollution and acid rain. Green moss was spreading across each wet surface. The sound of a brick being thrown through a car window made Trevor jump. The car emitted its screeching alarm as if crying for help while a gang of teenagers kicked it and smacked it with baseball bats. Another member poured some sort of liquid inside, took out a lighter and then set it on fire. The whole interior was aflame. The boys danced around with excitement as they filmed the whole thing with their smartphones. Soon the fire covered the entire building. It looked like it was going to explode. The boys scattered as they cheered with delight. Trevor figured it was probably another dare out of boredom. It was a matter of time before someone called the fire brigade. That is, if anyone bothered. Since their parents didn't want them playing video games, go outside, they said. Get some fresh air, they said. Well, there was nothing to do out here. Fuck it, just do whatever. It's a dark world. Dark things happen here. This was Trevor's home, one of the worst areas of London. Thank you for listening. Good night.